From New York, here is I Got a Secret, starring Steve Allen.
Good evening on this hot June day, and welcome to a hot edition, a red-hot edition of I've Got a Secret. And let's get right down to business now and meet the hot shots on our panel. First, warm and lovely Betsy Palmer. Next, warm-hearted Bill Cullen.
Hi, Doctor.
Then a one-girl heat wave, Bess Myerson. And finally, hot-blooded Henry Morgan. Outside of just acting smart over there, are you ready to play the game, panel?
No, not really, no.
Actually, you're not. Not until you put on your blindfolds.
Oh.
That's the stuff. And now that the blindfolds are just about all on, then let's send out our first contestants, please. Panel, before your very blindfolded eyes, we have, let's just call them Mr. W, Mr. X, Mr. Y, and Mr. Z, and they, of course, have a secret for you to guess. So, gentlemen, if you will whisper your secret to me, we'll show it at the same time to our friends at home. You know, the version of the secrets you read and the version I hear are not always the same. Handle, the clue to these four gentlemen's secret concerns, of course, something they did, and we'll start the game with Betsy Palmer.
You are evidently very well known, you four gentlemen. They don't have voices, though.
We'll have them answer in consecutive order here.
Mr. X, are you well known?
No. Well, that's a moot point. Yeah, it depends on who's looking at them. Some people would know all of them very well.
Mr. Y, are you in show business?
No.
Mr. X, are you in the world of science?
Yes.
Mr. Z, are you all astronauts?
No.
Oh, I
$20
Can
down.
I take mine off now?
No, for some reason I don't quite understand, they'd like you to keep it on. You'll get a little rest that way.
Mr. A,
Bill.
are you in sports by any chance?
No.
Mr. B, are you in the military?
No.
What is left? Oh, they're in science, scientific sports. Mr. C, have your pictures been in the papers?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mr. D does, well, I gather, yes, America's proud of you from the applause. Do you work for the government, Mr. D?
No.
$40 down. That's...
Mr. D, I want to concentrate on Mr. D. Are you a mister?
Last time I observed.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. D, would we recognize all of you? No, I don't. Wait a moment. Would I recognize
All four of these gentlemen are recognizable, but one perhaps more than the other three. $60 down. Henry?
Whatever happened to X, Y, and Z? Anyway, Mr. A, are you four dressed in any way similarly?
No.
Do you Mr. C? No, I think D has a better voice. Mr. D, did I understand that your pictures have been in the paper?
Yes.
When they were in the paper, were you together?
Yes.
Was it within the last week?
Could have been recently, anyway. The pictures.
Uh-huh. Did you do anything that could be called, in any way, an accomplishment?
Mm-hmm.
Dear me.
Well, panel, blindfolded, this was a tough one. You can take the blindfolds off now and meet the four gentlemen who just flew around the world and set no less than 21 speed and distance records while they were at it. I'll introduce the gentlemen individually and by name. Of course, you all know our good friend Arthur Godfrey here. Now, this next gentleman is Major Carl Keller, a distinguished test pilot. And third in line is Mr. Fred Austin, who planned and carried out the first flight around the globe, pole to pole. And on my right here is the famous Dick Merrill, who was the first man ever to fly the Atlantic Ocean round trip. Gentlemen, congratulations to all of you. Colonel Godfrey, sir, would you tell us why you guys made this trip?
I was just laying around, nothing to do.
Just sitting around the house.
No, Dick Merrill, as a matter of fact, called me one day and said, how would you like to fly a jet commander around the world? And I said, for heaven's sake, say that again, will you, slowly? Gosh, would I love it. And so I joined and delighted to do it.
Well, it must have been really exciting. Major Keller, could you just run down quickly some of the records that were set on this trip?
Well, Steve, we set several inner-city records. For instance, New York to Madrid, Madrid to Athens, Tehran to Bombay to Colombo, Tokyo to Anchorage. And, of course, the most important record of all was the 24,000-mile trip around the world in which we set a new speed record for the jet commander.
Mm-hmm. Fred Austin, how long were you in the air and how many stops did you make?
Well, we were in the air 56 hours, and we made 19 stops.
Now, Mr. Merrill here has made so many famous flights, including one across the Atlantic to England in a single-engine aircraft in 1936, and then another flying a mail plane to the South Pole. Dick, have you ever kept a log of exactly how many hours you have been in the air?
Yes, I have. As of May the 5th, when I took my last first-class physical, I had 39,640 hours and 10 minutes.
Wow. But do you realize he has less time on the ground than any of us, ladies and gentlemen? No, seriously, he has more flying time than any other pilot in the history of aviation. Isn't that something? Arthur, we all know that you're constantly flying. Do you have any particular flying plans coming up in the future?
I want to do the same trip again, Steve, only this time take 2 months and spend 50 of those 60 days in the Orient.
Yeah. All right.
You don't want to know why.
Okay. Why is that, Arthur?
Because I want one of those Japanese baths.
All right. Give me a
Takes an
glass
hour
of...
to take the bath and 2 weeks to get over it, but go on.
No, that's all right. A glass of sake and a mop for my friend here, please. Anyway, we're going to be looking for you in the air or in the bathtub or wherever you land. And speaking of watery things, we're going to be seeing you, as many of us already have, in your great new movie, The Glass-Bottom Boat, in which Arthur co-stars with Doris Day. It's right now at the Radio City Music Hall. And we are very pleased to have had all of you gentlemen with us tonight. Thank you so much. We'll be back with you again in a minute, but first, watch this. Now, may we have our next contestants, please? Nice to have you both with us. I'll introduce our guests panel. The young lady here is Janice Fuqua. Janice, would you tell the panel where you're from?
Valley, Wyoming.
Valley, Wyoming. And the gentleman on my left is Senator Millward Simpson. He is the United States Senator from Wyoming. Senator, we're very pleased, naturally, that you could be with us tonight. We met some time ago at the one-shot antelope hunt in Lander, Wyoming, and I know the panel is anxious now to start guessing about the secret that you share with Janice. So if you'll whisper to me, we'll show the audience just what that is. And Janice, I understand you have something interesting to add to that. The clue to Senator Simpson's secret concerns something he did, and that something, of course, involves Janice. So with all that help, we'll begin the game with Henry Morgan.
Senator, did this have anything to do with education?
Yes.
What a wonderful place to quit. Janice, does it have anything to do with leaving the United States?
No.
Oh. Are you an especially good student?
If she is, it's irrelevant, Henry.
Not to me.
$20 down. Betsy?
Does this have to do with your being involved in high school, Janice?
No.
Does this have to do with an award that was awarded this young lady, Senator Simpson?
I didn't hear that.
Was there an award involved with this young lady? Did you present an award to
yes.
her? You did?
An award in a sort of a general sense.
In a general sense?
Yes.
Like a scholarship, maybe type award?
No.
But does it have to do with your schooling, Janice?
Yes.
$40 down. Bill Cullen?
Senator, it is a pleasure to meet you because we decided here a few weeks ago I'm the only one on the panel never met a president, but now I met a senator.
I don't believe so.
Let me see, was this an athletic award that Janice won?
No.
An accomplishment award of another kind than athletic or scholastic?
No, I'd get off the award thing. That might be misleading you somewhat.
Did whatever Janice received benefit her? Did it benefit you, Janice?
Yes.
$60 down. Bess?
Senator Simpson, was it something that you did in Washington?
No.
Did it have anything to do with a special bill that was passed in the state?
No.
Did Janice have anything, was there any legislation at all involved in what happened to Janice?
Not at all.
Did she?
Well, this was a very tough one, panel. Janice Fuqua has just graduated from the Valley Grade School in Wyoming, and Senator Simpson was invited to deliver the commencement speech at the graduation ceremonies. Now, over the years, he's given many commencement speeches, of course, but this one was different. This time, Senator Simpson traveled 2,500 miles to make a speech for just one little girl, because Janice is the entire 1966 graduating class of Wyoming. We have the snapshot here taken. Here, of course, is the senator speaking, and there is the graduating class right there. Now, Senator, did you know in advance, were you aware that there was just going to be one child in the class when you accepted the engagement?
Steve, when Ethel Skibby, this country school teacher, sent me the invitation, I was glad to accept it. I thought this young child, who naturally is valedictorian of the class, was entitled to some reward for that.
Well, that's a very nice attitude on your part indeed. Have you always been the only student in your class, Janet?
Yes.
Janice?
For this past 2 years.
I see. Now, of course, there were other people in the audience, I presume, besides students. How many others were there?
Well, there were about 100 people came from up and down the South Fork of the Shoshone River where we have a ranch, and the Fuquays are above us near Valley, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the cowboys, dude wranglers, cattlemen, sheepmen, and farmers, and they came, and each person brought his own chair because there were no chairs in the little one-room schoolhouse. And they also brought some food to have a celebration, and they would have done this, Steve, whether I'd have been there or not.
I bet you went to just such a schoolhouse yourself as well.
I did. I went to the Dick Crick Schoolhouse above Meeteetse, Wyoming. Mm-hmm. Incidentally, this child's graduation was more than singular importance to me. I gave the commencement address at the time her mother graduated from high school in Meeteetse, Wyoming, and the mother accompanied the child here tonight.
Well, that's a nice story. It's always a nice feeling to be able to publicly compliment a good deed of that sort, and we're very honored that we've had that opportunity this evening, Senator. Also, I happen to have been informed that you're retiring soon, so we're doubly honored by your visit with us this evening. Thank you so much, and thanks to you, Janet, too. We'll meet our special guest for the evening in a minute after this message. And now, as I say, it's time to meet our special guest for the evening. His autobiography will be published this fall. It's called Everything But Money. Here is the man whose very name strikes terror into the hearts of our panel. School teacher, comedian, and the very hard taskmaster who is here tonight to give our panel their third grade quiz, Sam Levenson.
There's something ominous about that welcome I got from the panel tonight.
Love you.
I don't think I'm tough at all. Last time I was here, I gave them a very easy review exam, and I gave them books to study for tonight's test, so you should all do very well.
Sure.
tonight.
Now, panel, let me ask the direct question. Did you study the third grade books?
Yes.
Exactly like I did when I was in the third grade.
Well, if they did the homework well, as you were told to do, you should have no trouble. There are the books to remember on mammals, Indians, weather, and explorers. And you're ready now to take the third grade examination tonight. You don't even have to write. It's an oral exam. You'll be called on, you'll raise your hand and answer. That's
All right.
it.
And I'll keep score as you go along because I already saw the test. Fortunately.
All
So
right.
who's first, Sam?
Let's start with Betsy.
All right.
All right, Betsy. I don't know why she's smiling so. Last time, I came prepared tonight for action, and nothing happened.
I came prepared for action, too. I will throw it at you if I don't get the answer. You'll have it to
All
eat
right,
later.
now, okay. The first question for Betsy is from the book of Mammals. Question 1 is about dogs' pants.
About dogs' pants.
Yes, question is, why do dogs pant?
Dogs pants because they cannot breathe any other way and rid their system. They can rid their system of the heat within their body, and this is their way of cooling themselves off.
Well, she's perfect.
Yeah.
Give her a pen. She must have been studying with a little girl.
I don't have an apple, but your autobiography, Everything But Money, how about a little money?
Teachers cannot be bribed.
Oh.
Next, Bill, 2-part question on the weather. Part 1, very simple. You'll do this well. Who invented the weather thermometer? That's part 1. Bill?
Well, it was invented by an unknown, but Fahrenheit invented the scale used on a thermometer.
You mean you want to correct the book?
Yeah.
All right, we'll take that.
No, Fahrenheit invented the scale, but a lot of people invented the thermometer.
All right, now, since you're so
My
bright,
grandmother.
how does it work simply?
It works very simply. That's
All right.
It's one of the simplest. No, there's like mercury or colored alcohol in there, and heat makes that kind of liquid expand, and it goes up, and old man Fahrenheit came around, and he figured out where...
All right, you did it. You did it all.
Very good.
10 points. Very good.
For Bess, from the book on Indians, question, you probably studied the Indians carefully. You all did. You're amazing me. See, when you study, it pays. Why did the Indians take so many baths? That's the question, no staring. Why did the Indians take so many baths? Hurry up, come. Bess?
Well, because they got letters from the Board of Health. Well, actually, it had something to do with hunting.
Like what?
Well, like with the way the wind was going. But they would, they did bathe very frequently when they went out hunting so that they wouldn't attract the animals and that they could move any way they want to without
I see all the heads
disturbing
going.
them.
Is that right?
Right?
Well, without the odor.
Amen.
That's-
Hope you missed, Henry.
One of the teachers gave me this that a kid wrote, hygiene is taking a bath even if you have not been playing baseball. Henry the weatherman. Henry, this is a rather difficult one. Pay attention, Henry. Just look up.
You were wrong, Sam.
Yes.
They didn't take baths so that they wouldn't attract animals,
No.
So the animals...
so that they wouldn't repel them. You see, if the animals
Animal
could
would
smell
run.
the hunter, they'd run away.
That's right.
Now, as a teacher, you should pay more attention.
All right, Henry, you do as well on your
buddy.
If you do as well on your own end,
I know
you
I'm going
did
to
on
miss my
hers, you'll
own
be
question.
doing
That's
fine.
why
Henry, why is the sky blue?
It reflects your eyes, honey.
Give him a 0. I don't like his answer. Next thing. Betsy, a 2-part question.
All right.
Why is the
Oh,
sky
you
blue?
want the answer? I wasn't going to take it anymore. I don't like this kid's attitude. Henry, why is the sky blue? They want me to get a real answer.
I don't know. It has something to do with light refraction.
You know, I like your other answer better. Does anybody want to help Henry?
Well,
What other color is there for a sky?
Oh,
it's
boy.
the refraction of the light through
All
the
of you
particles.
will show. Who answered? Betsy, do you want to
It's the
answer this?
refraction of the light through the particles that are in the lower atmosphere over the Earth.
That's
and that
pretty
the only
fancy.
color that can come through and reflect and cut through up above is blue. It's the only color that will come through.
Henry, did you want to explain that answer?
Do you understand it, Sam?
Actually, it is more or less correct, simply that the blue rays are kept back by the molecules and the others go through.
Right.
And we noticed that, very interesting in the book, said that an aviator, in order to see the blue, would have to go 10 miles above the Earth for him to see the blue down below. Isn't that
Right.
fascinating, Henry? You look moved, absolutely moved.
Well, it's nice.
Yeah.
And Henry, if you get smart with the teacher again, we're going to make you report to our producer, Chester Feldman, so watch your step.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bill,
No, you missed
Betsy,
me.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
How, Betsy, 2-part question. When Columbus sighted land on October 12, 1492,
Yes.
2 parts. 1, what country did he think he had found? Shall I pause? You got the answer, or you want to hear the whole thing?
Well,
What country did he think he had found? And part 2, what had he really found?
well, he thought he had found Japan, and he had really found not the Canary Islands,
No.
but the
Come on.
Bahamas.
Right,
Bahamas.
Betsy?
Thank you.
One kid wrote, Columbus got money for his trip from the Queen of Spades. Bill, here's a 2-part question on mammals. This is a
they're nice.
very exciting one. What is the biggest mammal in the world? How big is it and how much does it weigh? That's part 1.
That's part 1.
That's all part 1.
3 questions, part
That's all
1.
part 1.
The blue whale,
That's
and
right.
he's blue because the molecules attract the blue
Let
whale.
it go. Enough.
If you put 10 elephants tail to trunk, which isn't too nice, 6 elephants tail to trunk, that'd be about the same size as a blue
You know
whale.
that they memorized those books. They're
We did.
amazing.
Yes, we did.
All right, very good. Close enough. There's a second part if you want to try for it, Bill.
That's
What is
good.
the smallest mammal and how small is it?
Oh, a little miniature type shrew.
That's
And he's
right.
smaller than the other type shrew. He's much smaller than the giant shrew, which abounds in Pittsburgh, in the south side. He's about, I imagine if you put him on a dime, you could see most of the metal.
That's all true. He gets a perfect mark.
amazing.
Number 10.
Another 10.
Very good. That's excellent. Before we get to the next one, this I think you'll like. A kid's answer to a similar question is a mammal drinks water and gives milk. A baby is just the other way around. All right, Bess.
Yes, sir.
Bess, the Spanish explorers introduced certain domestic animals to the Indians of the New World. Name the 3 most important animals introduced by the Spanish explorers to the Western.
The bull. No.
The what?
The bull.
All by himself?
Well, they must have brought cows over.
All right.
And chickens. Pigs. Horses.
Horse.
Horses, yes. Let the chickens go.
Cows and horses.
One more.
And ducks.
Mr. Reed.
I like
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Bill, do you want to answer? Do you know what the other was?
Sheep.
Sheep.
Sheep. All right, we'll give
Right.
8 for Bess and 2 for Bill.
Oh.
Close enough. All right.
Too funny.
No time?
Oh.
All right, let's get the score.
The score is 30 points for something, and the score doesn't mean a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Now that I look at it, the figures are absolutely shocking in this day and age. But you all did very well, I must say. Sam, I don't know how to tell you, but I think we're out of time. We'll be back in a minute after this important message. Well, teacher, thank you again for another one of your entertaining and amusing visits. Our guest next week, gang, is going to be Buddy Hackett, so we'll see all of you right here, huh? Good night.
It's America's favorite ball game. Bingo America with Patrick Duffy, where the world's biggest bingo machine lets you play along with the contestants for a chance to win some money.
I want you to play, and I want you to win big.
Print your card for free at gsn.com, and if your bingo matches our bingo, you can win cash.
B-I-N-G-O.
It's that simple.
Watch and play Bingo America tomorrow at 4:30, 3:30 Central, only on GSN.
GSN.
The network for games.